Guys, what's going on? Tony Maritato here. So Salvador was asking about a checklist or some sort of review process for posting blog posts, making sure we have as many of the elements as possible. Let's run through. I'm getting ready to make this public. So a couple of things that we've got. I've kind of optimized and searched the title already, but the first thing I do before I ever even write the blog post is I do a search for the title that I'm thinking about using. And what I can see here is I've got #1 organic search result is this arthritis health, the pros and cons of double knee replacement. Notice that they have double knee replacement here in bold, whereas I'm using the key term bilateral knee replacement. Pros and cons are in bold again, double knee replacement in bold. So this is telling me that Google is associating bilateral with double. It's kind of using those terms interchangeably. I come down here, I've got blog.logansportsmemorial.org. This should be an easy one for me to outrank. HSS EDU advice, expert advice on bilateral knee replacements, pros and cons again. If we take a look at a couple of these, like the #1 search result, just to kind of get a sense for what's out there. It's a pretty terrible article. There's not a ton of detail. Obviously, like I right click, I go to inspect. This should be an H2. It is, so it's an H2. This should be an H3. It's not, it's just bold. But then they have some internal links right here. You know, there's this advertisement, but there's no real video. The photo is pretty useless, has nothing really to even show in terms of bilateral. So this should be a pretty easy one for me to outrank. Now, I don't know how many words. Let's see how many words this has. I'm just going to bring it right up to here. Copy that. Let's go to wordcounter.net. I'm going to drop that in there. 765 words. So, you know, my article is somewhere around 1,200 words, I think. But let's run through. So we have our H1 tag. Then we have a little bit of information. This is a hyperlink to an external source, which is actually a PubMed article. So we've got some professionalism there. We've got on the right side of the screen, we've got my bio. We've got a link right here that takes the viewer to the licensure page for Ohio. So you can see that, yes, in fact, I actually am a licensed physical therapist. We've got a table of contents with these internal links that jump you down to the appropriate section. These internal links have a good chance of ranking in the Google search down below the listing. I'll show you that in another video. We've got original photos. Now, I'm a big fan of user-generated photos. This is a photo that I brought in from my Facebook group. I colorized it, I changed it just a little bit, but this is an original photo. This doesn't exist outside of this page in my Facebook group, which is a closed group. We've got our H2 headings. We've got a bulleted list. We've got an H2 and an H3. We've got another little, hyperlink. We've got our 3 pros of having a bilateral knee replacement on the same day. This right here is an internal link. So I've got internal link, external link. I've got original photos. I've got another original photo. Again, that's a user-generated photo from my Facebook group. I've got the cons. I've got Facebook comments on the topic. And so this is user-generated content from Facebook. I didn't have to write any of this. I'm not identifying who did other than poster or commenter. I've got a link to my Facebook group. I've got professional references for where the research came from. What I don't have here yet is the YouTube video. I also don't have affiliate links, but let me show you the process of embedding the YouTube video. So there's two ways to do it. So one is I could obviously just take it here from YouTube. I'm uploading it right now. I can come in here, I can grab the link, I can go back here, and I can embed it. The other way though, and what I'm going to do preferably, is use my Ezoic account. So I'm going to go to video for Ezoic. I'm going to go through the process of bringing my video, like you see here, all these imported videos from YouTube. I'm going to bring it into the Ezoic platform and then embed the Ezoic link in the blog post. But I'm not going to wait any longer. I've got this. If I go to edit post, I use Rank Math as my free SEO plugin. One thing that I did notice was I don't have this categorized. I hate categories, but I'm going to go ahead and switch the category. I'm going to go here to the Rank Math, and I'm going to move my little head out of the way. So a couple of things you can see when I go to the snippet. You can see how bilateral knee replacement is my target keyword. I've got it in the title, I've got it in the meta description, and I've got it right here in the slug or the URL for the page. If I come over, you can see here I've got 1,316 words. If I look at some of the additional recommendations, so this says I've got 5 outbound links, but they're all no-follow links. The way Rank Math works, let me see what I can do. I'm going to click on one of the outbound links. So let me come in here, let me go into this, let me come in here. I'm going to copy this link. So Control C to copy. Okay, I'm going to get out of all of this. I'm going to go ahead and open my WordPress dashboard in a new tab. I'm going to go to Rank Math, and I'm going to go to General Settings. I've got Rank Math set up to put a no-follow tag after every single outbound link. But if I put the link here, it will exclude at least that link from the no-follow tag. Now what I don't know is, I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of refresh this. What I don't know is if I have to do that before I generate the link. That is possible. Because see here, it still says 5 outbound links with the no-follow tag. So I think what happened was, because I made the link, but I didn't put it on the excluded list, I probably need to do the exclusion first. That's okay. Not a huge deal. All of this minus that is green. If we look at the title, the only thing the title is missing is it doesn't have a power word. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I don't need 100%. Anything over 70% in my book is good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit publish. And what will happen is this will publish the post. I'm going to copy the URL. Now, this is one of the things, I've got another video on this. I like to go to Google Keyword Planner. I'm going to go ahead and get logged in. If you don't have access to Google Keyword Planner, it's a free tool. Anytime if you've ever run a Google ad, you should have access to Google Keyword Planner. If you've never run a Google ad, you might not have access, but I would just run an ad. Run an ad just to have access to this tool. I think this tool is phenomenal. So I go to start with a website, I put in the URL, I say only use this page, and I click get results. And what I'm looking for is this right here. So 281 keyword ideas. Google is seeing information on that page, and it is determining that there's 281 keyword ideas associated with the content on that page. And if I arrange it, I've got knee replacement, keyword, 10,000 to 100,000 search volume. Total knee replacement surgery, knee replacement recovery time. Like, these are all 10,000 to 100,000 search volume. We could do some serious damage with that kind of search volume. This video is still uploading, so there's nothing I can do there. But at this point, I've kind of run through my list. I've determined that everything I need to do is done, and this is the finished product for right now. I did do spell check. I did make sure that spell check corrected the errors. I probably have grammatical errors, but I'm not going to worry about that until this page starts to rank. If you want a little, you know what, let me see here. If I type in site colon and then the URL, the full URL, notice that this does not show that the page is indexed yet. Well, I just hit publish like 3 minutes ago. But what you can do is you can copy the URL. You can go to Google Search Console, and you can maybe put that in the front of the line. So what I'm doing is I come here, I go to this little bar across the top, I paste the URL, I hit enter, and it says URL is not on Google. I know that. I click request indexing, and so now what it's doing is Google is going to the URL, it's collecting the information, and typically, I mean, my pages, whether I do this or not, my pages typically index within 24 hours. It's shocking how quickly my pages index. Now, I don't have a huge site. This site, I think it has like, well, I'll tell you what it has. This site has, drum roll please, 78 published articles, 47 in draft. So in other words, I've got 47 topics that I haven't finished and hit publish yet. This week right now, if I arrange by publish, I've got this article that I just published right now. I've got an article I published 2 days ago, best shoes to wear after knee replacement. And then I've got an article here that goes back to last month. I've got an article here that goes back 2 months. 1, 2, 3. So I did 4 articles, 5 articles. Wow. 6. All right, I don't know what the heck I was doing, but I was crushing the articles in March. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 articles in the month of March. That is sweet. I do think some of those are probably updates to previous articles, but that's okay. Google has said publicly that we should be spending about 50% of our time updating old content, not just creating new content. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. I'll catch you on the next video.